And that was Optimist by Forever Starts Today off their brand new album, Always Hope. Out now, guys. It is out now. You all know that song. We've had it on repeat since they released it. And tonight, I'm happy to end my Music of the Summer series with the band themselves. I've got Forever Starts Today on the phone with me. Hello, guys.
Hello.
I'm so happy to talk to you guys. I've had this song on repeat. All the listeners are obsessed with it. So we're so excited to talk with you guys this evening.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Now, who do I have on the phone with me and who plays what?
Okay, so I'm Christina, and I'm the lead singer. And we also have...
I'm Troy. I play guitar. We got everybody else hanging around if we got questions for everybody else, but it's going to be primarily us two handling this one.
Awesome.
Yep.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again so much for taking some time chatting with me, because you're like on the road right now. You're in the middle of tour, correct?
Yep. That's exactly where we're at. We're in Utah right now.
All right. What's your next tour date?
It should be tomorrow in Brighton, Colorado.
Okay.
So we're about to get headed that way.
All right. Well, we're excited for you guys to come to the East Coast. I'm most excited for that one when you guys drive by. So, come soon.
Our bassist is actually from Philly, and so we probably will come up to the East Coast pretty soon.
Oh, awesome. I will be there. Number one fan right in the front for you guys.
Yeah, you're the best.
I try. So, you're on tour right now in support of your new album, Always Hope. First and foremost, congratulations, guys. I mean, downright a jam of an album. It's awesome. So just congratulations on it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. So before we dive into this album, I want to know how you guys got to this point, basically, because it's been a bit of an interesting story from what I read. So how did Forever Starts Today become a band? What was the first step?
Well, I kind of had a really small solo thing going where it was basically me, and then I had a backing band, and we played a few different shows like outside of Austin where we're based, but never really left Texas. And then it came about time for me to put out a second album, and I was doing school and work, and I just had so much on my plate, and I kind of had it in the back of my mind for a while, like, what if we made this a full band thing? And so I just decided to nix the Christina Murphy solo name, and we went with Forever Starts Today, and that's pretty much how we started out.
Wow. So everyone who's in the band now was there from the beginning?
No, we actually lost members every now and then picked up some new ones, but we finally think now we're at like a sturdy group that we don't think is going anywhere. So.
We finally got the recipe right.
Yeah.
I would say so. So your EP, your first EP was the band that is now.
Actually.
That EP was exclusively done by Christina, Nathan Dunn, and I.
Oh.
Our producer, Joe Milligan, actually is the one who played bass on that record.
Okay.
And he took care of drums, too.
Yeah, the drums were actually programmed drums from Superior Drummer. I think that's the first time we've publicly said anything about that.
Yep.
Well, thanks.
Fun fact about our last EP.
Yeah, that was just us three. We just kept having really bad luck with members dropping right before going into the studio, and we finally were like, you know what? We just want to do this. We're tired of getting kicked when we're down. This is our dream. So we mustered up the money, and all three of us funded it and went in and recorded it. So we're really proud of that album. Yeah. But since then we've gotten the other two, and we created Always Hope, and we love how that one turned out.
Yes. I mean, your first EP was great. Limitless was awesome. But then this album, oh my God, your first debut full length. I love this album so much. I've had it on repeat since it came out last week. And the undertone for this album that I got is that I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for myself and the people who I love.
Yep.
I mean, it's dark tones, but honestly, when I'm listening to it, I just think of a rally cry, basically.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we're definitely big advocates for fighting through and pushing through hard times, and I think we just kind of have that backstory for ourselves as well. We're definitely a fighter band, and we want to make it as far as we can go, so I'm so glad that you like the album.
Yeah, I love it. So, I mean, I guess you kind of answer that kind of cliche question that I'm not a fan of asking, but I have to do it with you guys. Does that kind of represent what the name is, Forever Starts Today?
Yeah, pretty much. We just wanted something that was kind of positive and shows that it doesn't matter where you come from or who you are. If you're like basically any kind of future that you want for yourself, you can have as long as you get started and you work for it. So, yeah.
Awesome. So, Always Hope, when did you start working on this album? When did you start the writing process?
It kind of depends on what reference frame you want to go from. Some of the songs on the record have actually been written, at least instrumentally, for quite a period of time, but we really started hitting the ground running with regularly, writing and demoing and getting everything ready around February of last year. So even before Limitless came out, Kyle, our bass player, had actually moved down from New Jersey in January of last year, and he had a fair amount of downtime, and I work from home, and so the way things kind of got started is not too long after he moved down to Austin, he just call or text me and be like, hey, you doing anything later? You want to get together and write? And we go down to Torchy's Tacos right down the street, grab some food, drink some Topo Chico, and bust out the old laptop to start demoing some songs. Yeah, so it's been about a year and a half in the making, at least.
Yeah. So then your first EP, it was the three of you, and then basically, okay, we're going to make this. So from that EP to this album, what was the stepping stones that you used from the EP to make this album, whether it be, I know how I want to write a song to begin with, or what did you use from the EP that you continued on with?
So working with our producer, Joey, was an incredible privilege. He's become a very good friend of ours, a mentor of ours, and to have the opportunity to work with somebody who's had the kind of success that he's had is something that we didn't want to take for granted. And so while it was just Christina and Nathan and I in the studio learning from Joey, I really learned from everything he did, from how to track things that he did differently than what I was used to, things that he'd done that I'd never seen, ways to approach everything. So I really tried to learn from every little nuance that he did in the recording process, and try to carry that over towards the Always Hope record. And really, Kyle and I, when we kind of started getting off the ground with those first couple demos, we felt really good about what we had at the time, and we just kind of set that standard for ourselves. And one of the first songs that we wrote for the record was our last single, Last One Standing. I think that was the first one that was actually completely done. And when we finished that, we're like, yeah, this needs to be the standard for this record. And that's kind of what we set out to do.
We're actually going to be ending the interview with that song. So while we're talking about it, let's talk about it. What is the insight of that song? How did that one come about? Meanings? What was it all about?
I just really wanted a song that would kind of apply to almost anybody. I didn't want to get too specific with it, but just basically saying, like, if you're down on your luck, you can make it through and to fight, just like you said before, to be the last one standing no matter how many times you get hit. There's a line in there about basically that, like, you can make it through no matter what, as long as, like, you have your friends and a good support system. And I know that a lot of listeners don't actually have a support system when they're going through hard times. And if they don't have friends or family to lean on, that they can lean on Forever Starts Today, and our music will always be there for them.
I absolutely love the message that you guys are coming out with, and putting great music on top of that. I think you guys are going to go super, super far, and I'm so excited for where you guys go.
Thank you.
That means a lot.
So we started off the show with Optimist. Another great song. A, love the riff at the beginning, and B, from what I get out of the song, now all music is obviously open to interpretations. How did this one come about, and why did you want it to be your first single?
Well, I think, honestly, that song ended up turning out better than we expected
Okay.
going in. So whenever Joey sent us the revision or the first edit, we were stoked on it. He had some good ideas in it, and I think I don't know. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but like when I heard it for the first time, like I got goosebumps. I remember where I was like, oh my God. It's just such a humbling feeling, because when you put like your heart and soul of like a year and a half into a song and you get it back and you're like in love with it, like that's why we make music. And I don't know, I loved it, and I felt like it was one of our strongest songs. Now the songs are out, and Last One Standing is almost getting an equal amount of feedback on it. So it's interesting to see what our favorites are compared to everybody else's.
Yeah, to kind of add on to that, I think one of the primary reasons we decided to pick that as our first single off the record is one, you know, we got it back and it was immediately one of our favorite tracks off the record. But also, I think it provided a lot of contrast from our first EP.
True.
Because I mean that one was all positive, uplifting songs, which was the goal going into writing that EP, and we kind of wanted to show a little bit of a different side to us. You know,
Limitless was fun.
Yeah, we didn't want to seem superficial and like we didn't address serious topics, and this song, the content really hit close to home for all of us, and we just wanted to show that. We wanted to show a new chapter, a more mature, a step forward, if you will, presentation to our band, and we thought that was one of the best ways we could have gone about showing that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can hear the growth in your music. I mean, talking to bands sometimes, they'll be like, okay, we started as like a hardcore band and went to pop punk or something of the sort. I mean, genres right now, they're in between everything. So was it always this kind of genre that you wanted to flow with?
I mean, I think a lot of the maturity, if you will, that Always Hope has gained versus Limitless is we've had member changes and lineup changes, and so I think a lot of the difference and the growth in that comes from who we had writing on this record versus who we had writing the last record, as well as the experiences we gained in the studio. We always kind of had this idea, and really one of the reasons we like to work with Joe Milligan, our producer, so much is because we were able to tell him what we were going for sound-wise, and he got the picture in his head 100%. We owe a lot to him. We've learned so much from him. He's really helped us take this dream that we've had in our own heads and turn it into a physical record, which is still mind-blowing to us.
Well, okay, it's been out for, less than a week? Well, almost a week now. Is it still that record that you heard in your heads when you first said, okay, this is it, this can be the track, this can be it?
I think so, for me at least. But now it's just cool to hear other people's input. And, you know, as a musician, you're always like, oh, I could have done this better and I could have done that better. Yeah. But then to like hear other people be like, oh, I love this song. And just to kind of be like, okay, you know how musicians are. They're always perfectionists, always want to one-up yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So it's cool to get that back and just be like, okay, all right, chill out, Christina. Like, yeah, you did good.
Yeah, I think we're all still super hyped on the record. I mean, we finished recording it back in December of last year, and so we've been sitting on it for a little while. You know, we wanted to, you know, create the proper content to go along with it in the videos that we did, and we hired an incredible PR company in Catalyst. That have really helped us out a whole lot, and so to finally get it out there has been an incredible experience. We've got, you know, this huge family in our music scene in Austin, and in the weeks and days leading up to the release, we were getting so much feedback of people excited and ready for it, and
yeah, that was really cool.
You know, people posting on their own social medias, you know, like tagging us in and asking if they were ready for the release. And how excited they were, and it was just really it was really humbling. It was a really incredible experience that people were this excited about songs that we wrote sitting on a couch in a living room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It all like, oh my God, it's real life. Okay, wake up.
Yeah.
So weird.
Well, you were saying that, you know, you're getting a different reaction. You have your favorites. People are telling you their favorites. What song is standing out playing live right now?
I a lot of good feedback. We play that one last in our set right now.
Okay.
And online, we've just gotten a lot of good feedback from it.
We've been playing Last One Standing live for a little bit over a year now, actually. So,
now people know the word.
Yeah.
Like now people beyond just our friends in Austin know it, and it's cool. People have been kind of, I'd say Last One Standing I agree with, and Optimist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten some really cool crowd responses during Optimist, and especially during some of those more intense vocal parts. Hearing some of the crowd sing that back, like, it gives me chills on stage every time.
It's so crazy because, like, this is our first time to play outside of Texas, and when we're playing to all these faces that we don't know, and they, like, know the songs, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know who you are.
In a positive way.
Yeah. I know.
No, it is
good.
It's
I mean, that's something we haven't really experienced yet, so that's really cool.
Yeah. So, you've just been basically touring around Texas at this point?
Yeah, man, Texas is big in itself.
Okay.
Yeah. People talk about how you don't realize how big Texas is until you drive through it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we drove, the second date of our tour was in Dallas, and we had to play in El Paso the next night, and so we left the Dallas show right after the show ended, drove like 5 hours to get us just halfway to El Paso from Dallas.
Wow.
Overnight. Okay. And we checked in it was just, we were ready for bed once we stopped in Midland. Once we got to Midland, we called it a night once we got there. We're like, okay, this is a safe place to settle down. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do that. We'll head out in the morning.
Yeah.
So, Texas has been huge, but getting out and playing everywhere that we're going out to Texas has been awesome. Arizona was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed Arizona.
That's what I was going to say. I see like more music now coming from Texas, Arizona, like down there where it's like such a, I don't know, like a breeding ground. It's crazy. So, yeah.
There are some incredible bands coming out of Austin that we're incredibly fortunate to call friends. The band Sundress that our friends and Nominee went on tour with are from Arizona. We played with this incredible band at our show in Tempe called Constellations. There's really a lot of good, genuine music. People care about the music they're putting out now, in Austin, in Arizona, and it's just awesome to be a part of that.
I think one of the reasons that the Limitless EP and the Always Hope EP are so different, you kind of touched on this earlier, Tara, is because our Austin music scene is so strong. There's so many really talented bands that I myself vocally, I wanted to kind of step up my game to these other bands' levels. A lot of them are male-fronted, and so as a female-fronted band, I don't have that like extra grit in my voice that like the pop-punk guy vocals can do. Yeah. So I wanted to like get on their level in a way, and I think you can really tell the difference vocally on Always Hope and Limitless. Like, I don't know, it really inspired me, all these other bands that we play with, like Nominee and Burning Ears and Dozer, and so I think there's a little bit of a difference there, you can tell.
Well, Christina, your voice is like no other. I've never heard your voice like yours.
Thank you. I'm sick right now. So I'm like,
well, geez, if you're sick, I don't want to know what you sound like not sick, because you're still great.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and I mean, just for your standpoint, being a woman right now in music, hey, keep it up. I like it.
Thank you. Yes. Girl power.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go any further, how can people check your music out? How can they get this new album?
We're on pretty much all forms and methods of digital media, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I think we're on Rhapsody, if anybody still uses that.
That's still a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
We got money from it.
Yeah, I think we made like a whole penny from Rhapsody.
Hey.
You can also keep up with everything of ours on our website, foreverstartstoday.net, and Facebook.
Yeah, we've got a merch now page through our label Third String Records. The physical CDs are on their way. So people who have pre-ordered physical copies We're working on it as soon as we can. We're getting it out there as fast as we can. But those are on their way. iTunes. Everywhere. I don't know if we put it up on our Bandcamp yet, just because we've been so overwhelmed getting ready for tour. But it'll be available there as well here very soon. But mostly digital places at the moment you can get a copy from, and then physical copies will be not too far behind.
You were talking about your label now, Third String. Did you already produce this album before you got signed?
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations. I mean, giving them this album, which is phenomenal. And I feel like you guys are still, yes, you have this record label now that you're under, but you're still so self-produced and you want to be a part of where your music is going.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really all about the individual connection to the music for us. That's why we do it. Music has been so important to all of us, in good times and bad times, and especially in things when things would get tough. Music helped all of us not feel so alone. So if we can have one song help one person not feel alone in their time of need, then we've accomplished our goal as a band.
I love that. I think you guys make your point certain with what you want to tell people, with who you are, how to perceive your music. You kind of hit the nail on everything, but what is just one last message you want to give to your fans?
Thank you for all the support this far. It's been overwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah.
We were just, not that long ago, just like a little local Austin band, and now we get to tour, which is something we never knew if we were ever going to get to do, and things are really taking off, and it's just so weird, but in a good way. And we're just so thankful for everybody who's shared one of our statuses or told a friend or came out to a show when they could have been sitting in bed watching Netflix.
Yeah.
We just appreciate it so much.
Literally, we couldn't do it without the people who listen to us and support us. If there weren't people supporting us, we wouldn't be a band. And so we really genuinely appreciate everybody that likes a post, shares a post, comes out to a show, buys a shirt, buys a record, just gives us a hug and says thank you. It means the world to us, and we very much look forward to meeting many new people along the way.
I think thank you is so understated, and it means so much that people don't realize. Just say thank you.
Oh my goodness,
it makes a world of a difference.
We're all about that, actually.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited for what you guys are doing, what is going to happen with your future. I know it's going to be awesome. I'm stoked to see where you guys go. Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us on and talking to us. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. So we're going to end things with Last One Standing. So if you guys could introduce this song, we'll take a listen.
All right. Hey guys, we're Forever Starts today, and this song is called Last One Standing.